Good evening and welcome to episode 15 of A Case for the Blues. I'm Case, and I'm not going to say a case of the Blues because it's not the end of the world, that result, even though we'll get into things. First of all, just want to say an apology for yesterday live stream. I did actually get it started, but everything started going wrong. So in the end, I thought, look, I'm not that prepared. Let me just cancel the stream and we'll do a match reaction when I can. But anyway, let's get straight into Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1, and how we feel about that result. Now, bit underwhelmed. I mean, again, it's another top side, as the title says, top side issues. Chelsea seem to have an issue with playing the top sides. We just cannot seem to beat them at the moment. I think our record I watched on a stream yesterday, it's something like 3-20. So now it's 3-21, where we've actually got a W against the top six sides, which is quite a poor record, to be fair. And I'm seeing similarities of last season and the previous seasons where we're struggling against the top sides. Overall, I don't think it was a game where we really struggled. I just think both sides were quite poor, in my opinion. We look very efficient. Both sides at the moment look really inefficient in what they're trying to do. But as I say in the title, for Arsenal, for me, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'm sitting there going, well, the process has ended. What is this process? What stage are we in at this process now? You're 5 years into Arteta's reign. You're 10 points behind Liverpool in game week 11. So if you think you're anywhere near competing for a title now, it's done. Absolutely done. There's no way, in my opinion, there's no way that I can see you catching that. The only team that I have faith in catching a 10-point gap is Manchester City, because we know that they can shithouse it all the way to Christmas, and then they'll get to January and they'll just win every single game and smash it out of the park. To be fair to Arsenal, they did have a very good 2024 when they hit from January. So maybe, but I can't see it happening. Let's get into the lineups now. For Chelsea, that there was only one difference in that lineup, which is the obvious one. It's the Reece James on the substitutes bench and the Gusto in his place. Everybody else I predicted before the match lineup came out. A bit of a strange one for me, because I heard Maresca come out and say that he's fully fit and he's ready to play, and it was just a decision that he made. Whether or not it's a tactical decision, whether they're trying to look after his minutes, and look after him in that sense, I don't know. But for me, it's becoming a bit of a strange. There's some strange decisions going on now. If this was last season, we'd be screaming at Poch for some of these decisions that he's making. The Gusto one, for me, I think he's been probably one of our worst players from the start of the season. I just don't think he's hit the ground running this season. And we're doing this inverted role. I don't feel that like that's working with him. When he gets high up the pitch, he seems to get a nosebleed. His output's very poor. Whereas I think if you had Reece James doing that, you'd get a better output from him. And obviously, defensively, Reece James is solid. So it's a bit of a weird one for me. Bit of a weird one. And when you look at the goal as well that we conceded today, back post, the weakest area in Chelsea's defence is that back post every single time. I say it all the time, back post. If you want to score against Chelsea, just whip it in at the back post. We haven't got tall players. They can't head the ball great. If you've got a big, lanky striker, stick him at the back post and whip it in, and you'll score a goal. Today, they whip it in at the back post, and where's the marking? Where is the marking? That's very disappointing, in my opinion. Very disappointing to see that. I didn't even see Gusto look around his shoulder once to see who was behind him. And Madueke's just jogging back, lackadaisical, you know. Where's the defence at the back post? That's poor. And then the finish, you've got to do better there, Sanchez. That's your near post. That's your near post. But anyway, let's do the lineup. So we had Sanchez in goal, expected. Cucurella, expected. Fafana and Colwell expected, and then we had Gusto, obviously the change that I didn't see coming. Lavia and Caicedo, which I expected considering their performances recently. Um, Neto on the left, expected that. Palmer, Madueke, and Jackson up top. And getting into the game, it was a very quick start game from both sides. We had a chance quite early on with Palmer. Um, sorry, that was tipped over the bar. And then Arsenal had a chance down the other end where they had a shot blocked and it went for a corner. So it started off as a quite a quick paced game. And as it went on and on and on, things started opening up a bit more. I felt like first 5 to 10 minutes, it was a bit more Chelsea than it was Arsenal. And then, like always, we let the opposition, sorry, grow into the game. But all in all, both sides, like I said previously, very inefficient in what they're doing in terms of passing, their attacks. To me, it looked like both sides are lacking a deadly world class striker who can create chances for themselves, who are stretching the defense, who are panicking the defense. I mean, we look at Chelsea's defense. I mean, I watch Chelsea's defense all the time, and they just seem panicky all the time, all the time. It's not like, when you watch Arsenal previously, I mean, this season, I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit different. But last season, you watch Arsenal's defense and you think, like, you don't worry at all. You watch Liverpool's defense this season, you don't worry at all. You know Van Dijk's going to be there. You know Konate's going to be there. You watch Chelsea's defense, you're always a little bit worried that they're going to do something a little bit sloppy. And we had that today. Sloppy passes out the back from Colwell, sloppy clearances. There was a clearance from Cucurella at one point where he kicks it with his left foot when he could have just kicked it with his right, and it goes out all the way to the left wing, and it gives Arsenal another opportunity to make an attack. And it's little things like that where I think we're being very inefficient in what we're trying to do. When we're going forward, when we're attacking, again, it's wasteful, very wasteful in what we're doing. Something at the moment in Chelsea in the last 2 or 3 games, since maybe the Newcastle game, the Man United game weren't great. Today, I don't think was great. Something's not clicking. Something's not right at the moment. We're not creating many chances, but I know many Chelsea fans have put a case forward for Enzo being in the middle. Maybe you are right, and maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. I mean, when I watch it, I see Enzo losing the ball a lot. He gets dribbled past a lot. The physicality is not there, but he came on today and made an instant impact in terms of getting on the ball and creating chances. He even got an assist for Neto's goal, which was a great finish, by the way. An absolutely fantastic finish. We switched him over to the right and you got some output. Now, that's another good point. Noni Madueke, now I thought he started really well. Very attacking, very direct. He keeps the fullbacks on their toes. He gets into the box. He drives into the box. His output after that is starting to be a bit questionable. Starting to be questionable. Now, when you get Neto who comes on, or doesn't come on, sorry, he swaps sides, and within 5 minutes he's got a goal, and he still looked very dangerous on that side. You're starting to think, okay, we can utilize Neto on this right hand side, and we got Sancho coming back into the team, or we can put Palmer there, and we can put Nkunku in the middle. We'll touch on them too in a minute. So you're starting to look at that position and think, Noni, your time, you need to start really producing a little bit more like you were at the start of the season. You started really well this season. You need to keep that up. Otherwise, we're a very competitive side. There's loads of positions that can be filled. So yeah, overall, it weren't a great game. It weren't a great game. And in terms of a point at home, like, I just feel like Chelsea need to. I know, like, you have to look at it where we are right now as a squad, yeah, and that point in the long term is probably good for us. But we're Chelsea Football Club, do you know what I'm saying? We should be beating these top sides, and we seem to be struggling and falling short every single time. The players are young. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, because if you're young and if you're good enough, it don't matter how old you are. But I do kind of I see that immaturity in them, still giving away silly fouls in dangerous areas. The amount of times we've done it today, foul. I mean, if I was Sanchez, I'll be going mad at my players, giving away fouls where it gives them an opportunity to whip the ball in the box, especially from a side that scored so many goals from set plays last season, and we're giving them that opportunity. Sometimes a little bit brain dead in what we're doing. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't really impressed with what Arsenal done either. They lacked creativity, even with Odegaard on the pitch. Maybe, well, Odegaard, I'd imagine, wasn't fully fit. Apparently, Rice had a broken toe and he was brought into play, so I'd imagine he's not fully fit. But overall, it wasn't really an exciting game. I mean, the Chelsea really should have been 1-0 up in the first half with the Gusto sitter. I don't know how you missed that. I've never understood people who miss headers from that close out. Poor. But yeah, so in the grand scheme of things, a point, maybe later on in the season, I'll look at that and go, that was a good point. But I still feel a little bit disappointed. And especially being at home, you want to, I mean, to be fair, the one positive out of that is that our home record at the moment is actually really good. The only game that we've lost at the moment at home has been Manchester City, so we can take that away from it. And Arsenal, you've got to be looking at that going, this is our process done. Arteta, what are you playing at? This is another league title that we're not going to win. So he's banking on the cups, in my opinion. He's banking on that League Cup, that Champions League, and the FA Cup because he's not going to win the Prem. So questions will be asked of Arteta, no doubt, and I'll be watching everybody's streams later to see what's been said about that. I said I've been very vocal at the start of the season that I said that if he doesn't win the league this year, he's got to go. He's got to go. I mean, how long do Arsenal fans have to, buy into this process constantly? I know he's done wonders for getting you where you are, but there's managers out there that will take you to that next step. Ancelotti might be free soon. It's a no-brainer. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, so really wasteful. Again, corners an issue. But let me just get the stats up quickly. I got the stats up earlier. Now we had better, more expected goals at 1.28. They had 99. They had more possession. We had more goal attempts. We had the same amount of shots on goal. We had more shots off goal. We had more shots blocked. Same amount of free kicks. We had more corners, which to me, I hate corners for Chelsea. I hate corners. I know we scored a couple against Noah, but it's Noah. No disrespect to them. I actually respect them. Arsenal, a lot of offsides. Didn't realise it was so many. 7 offsides, blimey. Same amount of keeper saves, same amount of fouls. We are picking up loads of silly yellow cards. Sorry, that's 4. We got another 4 that we got today. Silly ones. Now the next 2 were quite interesting. This is what it kind of stood out for me. So I'm glad that this stat's there because this is what I was thinking during the game. So total passes: Chelsea 415, Arsenal 428. Total passes completed: Chelsea 354, Arsenal 376. So although you've had the more passes, you've also completed. Your percentage is better than ours as well. So I kind of felt that. I felt like our passing today was really sloppy. Yeah. Overall, we've got a bounce. We've got an international break now, which probably will do us some good. I think we've got to take a little bit of a break. We need this international break and start to work on what we're doing again because these last 3 games, it hasn't been it. It's gone a bit flat. All that buzz that we had from playing well, playing well, playing well. And this is why I said that we need to get the results while we are playing well because now it's starting to dip a little bit, only a little bit. I'm not going overboard. The results, we need to get the results even in that form because if it does dip a little bit and we start losing the results, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I think that game there has highlighted where we are. We are challenging for top 4. We're not ready yet for a title charge. We're not. I knew that anyway, but you know what I mean. We're not there to compete with the teams above us at the moment. And I look at Arsenal and I feel like they've digressed. They've gone from a title challenger to now a top four race team again. Now I think they've definitely got the squad players to do that, and it might just be an off season, but you've also got to look at the way that they're being set up and the way they're playing. It's very different from last year. Very, very different from last year. Um, so yeah, let's try and wrap this up. We'll talk about the players that were on the pitch. Let me just get the squads up because of the subs as well. So we had Sanchez in goal. He made a couple good saves. There was some a cross where he punched it, and I thought he could have caught it. He was a lot better on his feet today when the ball was played to him, but we didn't really play it that much to him, understandably, because he's shaky. And I thought he could have done better for the goal. You're near post, you should really be blocking that. But I'm not going to blame him for that goal because they should never have got into that position in the first place. So he done all right. He done all right. But for me, he's still not the goalie that Chelsea need if we're going to progress. You know, he's still not the goalie. Cucurella, I thought he was solid, had a solid game. He kept Saka quiet. Saka didn't really do anything all game. Saying that though, I just want to check who got the assist. Odegaard got the assist. Okay, okay, yeah. He didn't really do much all game, and then he got injured. Cucurella wiped him out, and he got him injured, which is yeah. We know an international break's coming up, so very fitting. He should just not go if he doesn't want to go. Do you know what I mean? I know it's obvious what he's doing, um, but hopefully he hasn't actually got an injury because we don't wish that on anybody. Cole, I thought he was sloppy today. I'm not gonna lie. I weren't impressed with Cole today. A couple clearances that were just dead passes. Just he didn't look with it today. 1 second. Fofana, I thought he was the better out of the two today. He kept picking the ball up and driving through the middle. Very good drives. Very good. Yeah, I thought he done all right. Gusto, defensively, he does all right, but then he has his moments. Do you know what I mean? Like with a goal, and that's all it takes. Not looking over his shoulder at all to see who's behind him. He had two people behind him. Who you marking? None of them. Absolutely none of them. And a goal goes in. When we're doing this inverted role now, we'll get on the with this inverted role with Gusto. We'll touch on the manager now. Maresca. If Poch was doing this, he'd be getting abuse. So we need to look at Maresca and start questioning why he keeps trying this inverted role with Gusto. I don't mind it with Cucurella, but this Gusto inversion it's just not working. He's not the player to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? He just I don't think he has the capabilities to do that inverted role. He gets into the positions well enough. His touch is not good enough. And then the next thing, it's like he doesn't know what to do next. And his output after that, it just kills our attacks all the time. I think personally, Reece James should have started. Um, but obviously, the management team know more than me in terms of his fitness and whether he needs a rest. And maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why. So yeah, I'm not overly impressed with Gusto. I'm not overly impressed with his start to the season, if I'm honest with you. Lavia, um, looking at his score today, he got a 7 on Soccer Stand. I didn't see it. I didn't see him the whole game. I didn't think he done anything the whole game apart from give the ball away in a very dangerous position that led to the goal. And rightfully so, he got subbed off for Enzo. I know that he said he was injured, but I don't know. I think he was having a stinker. I didn't think he had a good game at all today. Caicedo, beast, absolute animal, best centre mid in the Prem. I stand by it. I still stand by it. Now he's been our best player for the best part of this season. If I'm honest with you, a lot of people will say Palmer, but Caicedo has been consistent every single game since the start of this season, and he is becoming a beast of a midfielder. We are seeing the midfielder that we signed from Brighton, cleaning up everything, interceptions, strong in the tackle, commanding on the pitch, receiving the ball in good spaces and moving it on. This player has been phenomenal for us. Brilliant player, and he's not getting the plaudits. I mean, the stats are showing that he's the best in his position currently, but nobody's really talking about him that much, and he should be getting his plaudits. Madueke started well, filters out, very inconsistent, very up and down, very up and down with him. And I think it's getting to the point where look, you're not giving us much output now on that side, where we could start thinking about maybe swapping you out for another player and giving them a chance. Which is unfortunate because I do like Madueke, but we are not seeing the output that we need. Neto, uh, great finish, great game for Neto. Strength to strength, every game he's playing, he's getting better and better. Today was a good game, very dangerous, very good on the ball, and then the strike to finish it all off was just brilliant. Great strike. So rescued a point for us. Well played, Neto. Palmer, woo, Cole Palmer. Now, I don't know if he wasn't fit today because of the tackle that he received from Martinez. I know he didn't train, but I thought he had a very poor first half, if I'm honest with you. He had one good shot, um, the first 5 minutes. But then after that, it was poor touches, poor decision making. There was an opportunity where Jackson was through, he played it down the left, killed the momentum. And then second half, didn't see him. Didn't see him at all. First 2 minutes in the second half, and then after that we didn't see him. Kept very quiet. Now I don't know whether we need to play him back out on the wing and give Nkunku a start in the middle. That's why I don't get paid the big bucks to make the decisions. But you know, last couple of games he's been a bit quiet. Been a bit quiet. So not a good game from Palmer. And Jackson, Jesus man, you're stinking out the gaff. I'll be honest with you. Today your hold-up play was shocking. Very bad. Poor touches. Didn't win any aerial duels. I'll check that. I'll check that stat in a minute. Just from memory, I don't think he won anything. I mean, it's going to be hard up against Saliba and Gabriel. They're very physical, big centre backs. Do you know what I mean? But he could have done better. To me, I think he's better running towards the goal rather than having his back up against the goal. When he did start getting the ball and running towards the goal, it was towards the end of the first half. He picked up a couple fouls, and then we had two shit free kicks from Palmer. But yeah, again, very ineffective today, and I think that it does cause issues for our attacks and what we're doing if we've got a striker that's not holding up the ball. So not very good from Jackson either. Let's go to the subs. I need to look at this now because I forgot who's come on. I know Nkunku come on. Right, so Enzo, instant impact when he came on. I thought he done actually. I thought he did well. I thought he actually did well again, but you can still see the physicality problem when he's there. But in terms of chance creation, which has been an argument for a lot of Chelsea fans, done well. So I can only call it how I see it. I've got no agendas with certain players. I just call it how I see it. So I thought he done well today. So well done, Enzo. Mudryk, I thought he came on and done all right. I think he just needs more game time, Mudryk. Just give him more game time. I mean, you know me. I'm very critical of the guy, but I'm not going to be gunning him down. And I just think he needs a little bit more game time, and he just needs to keep up his form. He's doing okay. It's not amazing. It's not shit. He's doing okay. Reece James came on in the 82nd minute. Did all right. Didn't really have to do much. Came on, put a shit cross in. That was about it. Can't really judge his performance. Did okay. And Nkunku, again, it's another conversation that we've got to have when we talk about the manager. Now, how is Nkunku expected to ever showcase what he's going to do against bigger sides if he's not getting the minutes? Coming on the 88th minute, he came on. What's the point? What is the point? What's he going to do? Are you trying to bring him on to try and get an instant impact and get a late goal? I'd imagine so, but 88th minute into the game, your wingers are tired, your centre mids are tired. What are you expect? You expecting him to create the chances and do it himself? I don't know. I don't know. I think he it's time now to give him a start and give him a chance in the team to see what he's capable of doing. I did agree before the game that today wasn't the game, but I think maybe now's the opportunity to start giving him an opportunity to see what he's capable of doing. Because how are we supposed to know? I mean, playing teams like Noah, Servette, and Ghent and stat padding against them is not a good opportunity for him. Do you know what I mean? To really showcase what he's capable of doing in the Prem. I mean, he's come on in other games and been a sub, hasn't really shown what he could do. I mean, he got the late goal against Bournemouth, but Maresca really needs to start looking at what we're doing now. Um, I think switching it up a little bit, switch it up. You know, it's like we started the season with this competitiveness in the squad where you're either going to be playing or you're not. You're going to be in the B team or the A team. You know what I mean? Playing in Europa Conference League. There's people fighting for positions and stuff. And then it seemed like we kind of solidified what we was doing. Obviously, Jackson's been on form. Palmer's been on form. The wingers have been on form. But now we're having a little bit of a dip. Why don't we try some more players? Let's start something different and see what we've got. But in my opinion, and I know that there's a lot of other Chelsea fans that think this as well because I've seen it, and I agree with this. I don't think Chelsea want him at the club. He's on the old wage structure, and I think we'll see him leaving in the summer, which is a shame because for Leipzig he was a great player. For us, he obviously has been injury for most of it, and he hasn't really got an opportunity this season. So a bit of a shame, but he came on and he couldn't really do anything to affect the game. So, but yeah, anyway, overall, it's a point. It's not a loss. Um, it's another. What's the word? It's how can I say it? It's another 3 points not gained, or should I say, points dropped against top sides, uh, which we just can't seem to beat at the moment. Which pretty much tells us where we're at the moment. And there's still work to do, still a lot of work to do. In terms of Arsenal and their season and the direction that they're going, boy, time's ticking for Arteta. Time's ticking. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, if you've been watching, please leave a like. Please subscribe. I've got to get these subscribers up. Come on, man. 37 is terrible. I'll be honest with you. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe, leave a like, jump in the comments. I'm always open to a debate. Thank you for watching. Follow my other socials that will be in the links below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much.